ゃないぞ。
Goku and Vegeta are pretty much used to being two of, if not the strongest fighters in the entirety of Dragon Ball, especially in Z. Once we get to Super though, we're introduced to a completely different realm of power that none of the Z fighters have ever seen before. Around 4 years ago, the Dragon Ball Battle of Gods movie first premiered, and with it, the introduction to the realm of the gods in a new scaling of power and also the gods of destruction. Beerus is the first god of destruction we get introduced to, and at this time, we really didn't have too much information about this mysterious title of God of Destruction. So when we were introduced to his brother, the god of destruction of Universe 6, Champa, a lot of us probably thought that they were all related or at least the same race. Obviously, by the Tournament of Power, this would be debunked, but one other interesting fact we learned about these gods in the Tournament of Power is that these gods aren't born into this position and no one individual holds a respective right to be a god of destruction, but instead there's a candidacy as we saw with Toppo. By the end of Dragon Ball Super, the only other being to be mentioned as a candidate for God of Destruction was Toppo, unless you count Vegeta's promise to Whis and Goku also being considered as well. But still, no one else has been appointed as a God of Destruction yet. With that being said, I thought it'd be fun to go over who I personally think are the best candidates for God of Destruction and why, but in this video I'm just gonna stick to Universe 7. So before we start off with the first person, let's first understand what a God of Destruction is and their role in the multiverse. Basically, a god of destruction is a deity who destroys planets, races, or threats in general that put the development of their respective universe at risk. Their direct counterparts are the gods of creation, the Supreme Kai, who create and fill planets with life and are under the teachings of a designated angel. With the nature of a god of destruction's role, I personally feel as if there are only about 4 or 5 people who are up for the job in Universe 7, and my first choice is probably the most popular one: Vegeta. When we were first introduced to Vegeta, he was a cold-blooded Saiyan warrior that was easily consumed by his pride whenever it showed itself, no matter the situation. But over the course of the entire Dragon Ball series, I would argue to say that, next to Piccolo, Vegeta has probably changed the most over time. From what we've seen in the past, Vegeta isn't opposed to killing people at all, as we saw him take out the entire Ginyu Force as well as his direct subordinate in Nappa, although he doesn't really get any fun or enjoyment out of it anymore. Vegeta obviously has the power to become a god of destruction as we saw in the Tournament of Power, and he was even able to defeat a resolved god of destruction, Toppo, but the only reason I could see Vegeta never becoming a Hakaishin, which is the other term for god of destruction, is if he has to forego his values in the same manner that Toppo did. Always seeming to be in the shadow of Goku, I feel like one of Vegeta's most important developments in the series is after the Battle of Gods movie. After witnessing and even helping Goku obtain the Super Saiyan God form, Vegeta was definitely not happy, but his pride, while still completely intact though not as toxic as before, wouldn't allow him to achieve this power in the same way as Goku. When Vegeta first asked Whis to train him, Whis only agreed to go along with it if Vegeta would accept the job of God of Destruction one day, and of course his drive to not fall behind Goku made this seem very telling about Vegeta. But I think the most important factor of this whole possibility is something Vegeta didn't always have. His ties to Earth and his love for his family have now given Vegeta a new drive. This major aspect of his new life on Earth may be the thing that stops him from accepting this job, but at the same time, these very reasons may be the things that push him to accept this job. So the next one is also a very obvious choice, and that is Goku. Goku has also already been offered the title of God of Destruction, but if Goku turned down just being the God of Earth from Kami, then I feel like there's absolutely no way he'd ever accept the title of God of Destruction. Being the main character in this series, Goku is probably the most obvious choice in terms of relevance to this position, but despite being more than powerful enough, that's just not who he is. Destruction just isn't something he enjoys, and killing, as we've seen many times before, is one thing that he likes to avoid doing altogether. I also don't see any benefit for Goku in becoming a god of destruction either, because as we know, Goku is all about training and becoming stronger, and after everything that we've seen in Dragon Ball, Goku automatically attracts the strong to him naturally, and in Super, he was literally being trained by 2 gods the entire time, so what would he have to gain from being a destroyer god? Despite he and Vegeta being pretty much at the same level by the end of Super, if something were to happen and a new god needed to be appointed immediately, Goku and Vegeta would probably be the only options at this point in time, but I still would have to go with Vegeta over Goku. Next is Majin Buu, and with all things considered, this is naturally probably the most likely candidate besides one other person I've yet to mention, but there are a few problems with Majin Buu taking on this role. While Buu definitely has the potential to become as strong as a God of Destruction, his later development will be the telling piece that would indefinitely stop him from taking on this role. When Frieza states that his father warned him to only avoid fighting 2 people and one of those was Majin Buu alongside Beerus, the current God of Destruction, it is extremely telling on how powerful Buu actually is and can be. The main problem with this, however, is Hercule. Majin Buu has already promised to Hercule that he would never kill again, and in Super, Buu's evil side has subsided, so I doubt he even has the desire to rule or a thirst for power within him at all anymore. Besides him being so powerful, he's also able to live for much longer than everybody else we've mentioned so far, so that would also be another beneficial factor because Majin Buu has existed since the beginning of everything in Dragon Ball. Even so, I can't see Majin Buu accepting this job, but anything is possible in Dragon Ball, so he still has a small chance. Next is Frieza. Now, at surface value, Frieza probably seems like the sure choice for this job, but at the same time, is this the right choice? Being a God of Destruction means removing threats to your universe and not senselessly destroying. Of course, I don't think Frieza will or even can do whatever he wants as the God of Destruction when it comes to senseless murder, but Frieza has always wanted to rule the universe, so this job would be perfect for him. While it would give him the position to rule with complete dominance over Universe 7, he still has to worry about Goku and Vegeta, who would never let that happen. It's already been stated that Frieza is more of a God of Destruction than a current god, Sidra, in pure power and nature, but at the same time, Frieza would not only have to answer to Zeno, but if he got too out of control, like I previously stated, where do Goku and Vegeta come in? So while I do think Frieza is the obvious choice, especially since he's been revived now, I don't think he's the right fit based simply off of his character. Last is the person who I think has the most latent potential in the series and would, in my opinion, make for the best choice. Oob is the reincarnation of Kid Buu, and thanks to this, has all of the potential to become just as, if not stronger than Buu. But Oob doesn't have the same wild and destructive nature. By the end of Super, Oob is still too young to fight even in the Tournament of Power, being only about 4 to 5 at this time, but by the end of the series when he leaves with Goku, he's around 10 years old, and that's literally all we get to see of him. Not including anything from GTA's reference material, but for him to even have the abilities to train with Goku at such a young age is telling enough. Oob is a human who shows the same potential as a Saiyan or Saiyan hybrid while also being the reincarnation of one of the most powerful villains in the series, so this alone would make him, when he's older that is, a prime candidate for this job, and since Oob is so pure of heart and wishes mainly to eradicate evil, I feel like this position is perfect for his character. Now that we've gotten potential candidates out of the way, let's talk about who will actually be the next God of Destruction. The next God of Destruction for Universe 7 is someone who already possesses power equal to that of Whis. He's said to have taken out an entire galaxy with a single curveball and to have mastered the Ultra Instinct technique overnight. The next God of Destruction will without a doubt be Yamcha. Yamcha has been orchestrating the entire Dragon Ball series and was actually the one who approved of Beerus being appointed to the title of God in the first place at his permission. He is the true father of Gohan, and with the power to create and destroy, who else would be fit for this job other than Yamcha? No, I'm crazy. This title does not do God Yamcha justice. He needs something better. He needs to be the God of creation and destruction. Something, I don't know. But no, seriously guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section and who you think is the best fit. I know I left a few people off of this list like Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Piccolo, but in my opinion, these guys are either too weak or they don't have the resolve or the will for this job, so it just wouldn't be right for them, and I can't see any of those guys ever being appointed to this position. But anyways, I wanted to limit myself to no more than 5, so that's another reason as well, and I think these 5 are the most obvious choices. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.